Yeah, we are live, everyone. Hello. I am so happy to be here with you, Courtney. Thank you for being here. 1 year later, you guys, you know me. I am Coach Narit, the creator of the Midlife Makeover Program. I'm so excited. So, first of all, for every comment that you all post, love, heart, saying you're live, fire emoji goes to $1 towards a gift certificate for Courtney for Madewell. So let us know if you're watching here live on the replay. Fill this up with lovely comments for Courtney because she has worked so hard. So we want to get her that money. Okay, Courtney. We first of all, tell us who you are. Again, I know we've done an interview when you were like sooner into the program. Now we were a little bit longer into it, a year. Where are you from? What do you do? Who are you?
I am Courtney Clampett. Thanks for having me. Yep, this is my year update. I live in Elkridge, Maryland. I am a speech language pathologist by trade. I work at a local hospital and oversee a team of occupational therapists, speech therapists, and rehab techs. So I have full-time working outside of the home. I also have two children who are 9, and my son will be 6 tomorrow. So busy mom, coach my daughter's soccer team, and I have a husband who, helps me do all the things as well. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Well, first of all, happy birthday to your son.
Thanks.
And so your story is very inspirational. It's really inspirational. Yesterday was a big, big day. So let's start with what was going on with your health prior to starting the Midlife Makeover Program, and then we'll circle to back why yesterday was such a big day for you.
Yeah, sure. I might do that flip a little bit. So
Yeah, you
yesterday
do.
was my 5-year anniversary of being NED. For those who don't know what that means, it means no evidence of disease. So I was diagnosed with breast cancer in November of 2019. And that was 6 months after I had my son. So prior to starting the program, I was pregnant, nursing. Then all of a sudden I'm starting chemo. Then I have mastectomy. So, big body changes. Then starting medications to put me in medical menopause. And just a bunch of different side effects from different medicines and things like that too. Different food limitations on certain things I could eat and things that my body wouldn't tolerate. Obviously, lots of fatigue from side effects, whatnot. So just lots of changes in my body for a number of years. I think hormonally, my body must have been like, what the heck is going on? So yeah, was just in a place where I gained a lot of weight. I had no energy. I was having, body aches, just different limitations that they weren't in my plan for life necessarily, but we can't always choose what life throws at us. But I knew I had to do something to try to help myself feel better. I needed at least more energy. I couldn't continue how I was, just feeling kind of like being a spectator in what I thought my life would look like. But it's tough to take that step, especially when you have medical professionals, kind of validating like, yeah, you're expected to gain weight on these medications, and it's going to be twice as hard to lose it. That's pretty disheartening to hear, and scary. So, I kind of tried a little bit here or there, but didn't have any plan or any guidance. Because again, that's the guidance I'm getting, that it's going to be really hard. So I had been following you guys for a bit, and finally decided to take the plunge. And I'm so thankful that I did.
We are so thankful that you did too, because we're so, so happy for you. I know there's been so many wins because, um, there's just so many. Can you tell us your biggest wins since you started the program?
Um, I mean, my biggest win is I feel like I have my life back, honestly. I feel like me again. Again, that was a lot of changes for my body to go through. Obviously, physically from different treatments and surgeries. And then just the extra weight. I wasn't recognizing myself in pictures. Um, not just physically, but emotionally too. I wasn't recognizing myself. So I mean, that's my biggest win. I feel like me. I feel present, engaged, energetic. I can do the things I want to do. So yeah, I mean, I lost a crap ton of weight, which is amazing. I would have never thought I even had that much, to lose, honestly. Um, but it's really about feeling like me.
Yeah, and I love that. I love exactly how you put it. And so let's kind of go backwards to the beginning. So before you started this journey, um, what fears did you have before starting the journey?
Yeah, I mean, fears of that this is what my life was gonna be like, which I've always, been a pretty active person. I come from an active family. So again, this was not what I had pictured. And again, sometimes life throws you things that you cannot control. But I knew I wanted to do the things that I could control, and I had to at least give it a shot. But that's scary, and it's scary of what if this doesn't work. I think that was my biggest fear. What if this doesn't work? Then what? But pretty quickly I started losing weight. Just kind of following the guidance that you guys gave me and everything. So those fears, quickly started kind of subsiding, and it was like, oh wow, like maybe I can do this. And I quickly felt better, more energy, everything. So that was really motivating to, kind of stay the course and keep going, and trust the process. And so those fears subsided with the progress I was seeing and the support of you guys and the community.
So what do you feel like is, because there's so many things out there, like that people can do to lose weight. What do you think makes this different? Like, what about it do you feel like makes it work for you?
I think the personalization, the support, the accountability, um, I think the mindset piece of it too, and just the learning, because you guys don't say, thou shalt, eat this, thou shalt eat that on this day at this time, anything like that. You really teach us, the science of fueling our body and what we need. And, I talk about them in my house now as our fuel foods and our fun foods, and we have to have both, to make this sustainable. And sometimes your fun foods are your fuel foods too, but it's about finding that balance. So I think, your original question was what makes it different. I think it's that, again, it's really tailored to you and what you like and what you don't like. And even with exercises, the first week or so, starting the program, I think you guys had started me kind of on like a more a gentler one, if you will, because of my surgeries and everything. And I just kind of consulted with Sarah. I was like, I think I can do more. Like, I don't want to like rush it necessarily. Like, I will trust the process if this is where I need to be. But, she was like, no, like, if you think we can do this, we'll bump that up. And, you just kind of meet us where we are, depending on what's going on in life and whatnot. So I think that's different. And that's, again, it's the lifestyle. It's not an end point. And you teach us how to navigate those ups and downs, that are going to come with life. And um the all or nothing, kind of mindset. It's not, you're not either all in or all out. You're, there may be a day or a meal when you're all out, but it's okay, you just jump back in.
I love that. I love the all or nothing, because so many people don't realize that they have that mindset and how important the mindset piece is. Like, how do you feel like your mindset has improved? Like, your perspective has changed?
um I mean, I think I've learned a lot, mindset wise, that I you can translate to life in general too. So that's another thing I think that makes it different. This is about like weight loss and being healthy and, you know, fit and everything. But there's like lessons that we learn that I can apply elsewhere. You know, gap versus gain, you know, focusing on, you know, how far you've come, not necessarily like where you still need to get to. Like there's always going to be somewhere to get to. And if you're constantly just chasing that and not recognizing the other part, like that's you're missing out on like all the great things. So I think, you know, in that, I think I feel like I can really, you know, do anything. You know, I am a pretty goal driven person. You guys also taught me how to like shift goals a little bit because coming up with a number was kind of hard for me. Because for me, it was really more about a feeling than a specific number. So you help set tangible goals, things to still work towards that I could, you know, measure against and be like, oh, okay, yeah, I can see that progress. So being able to apply that to my own life too, in other ways, I think has, you know, changed, you know, my mindset in general.
Yeah. Goal setting is super important. I think people don't realize how important, not just, you just like winging it versus really setting goals. What past experiences did you have trying to lose the weight, I guess, before you joined us?
Um, I didn't really try any other like programs or anything necessarily before. Like 10 years prior, I had utilized my fitness pal a little bit, but I didn't really know how to utilize it. So it wasn't anything that I ever stuck with or was really effective for me. Um, you know, I was used to doing, you know, high intensity interval training classes for an hour, you know, cardio, or, you know, I want to drop a few pounds. Let me just start running again a little bit. You know, and those things weren't necessarily working, nor was I like consistently sticking with them, you know. So it was like, okay, well, I'm going to work out today. And then it's like, okay, well, let me just sit here and scroll and what am I going to do? And I had no plan. So you know, I felt like I spent more time trying to decide what I was going to do than actually like doing something. So that made this so nice. Took the decision fatigue out of it. It was like, okay, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna exercise. This is what I'm gonna do. Perfect. I can do it. You know, I just got to show up. So that's that was huge.
That is really huge. I love that you just said I can do it. I just need to show up.
Hmm.
Um, Out of everything, what was your favorite part of the program?
Um, Favorite part of the program. All, all of it. um, the plan really helped me. Again, just having the guidance, having the support when I wasn't sure if I was, you know, doing what I'm supposed to do, but you know, uh,
Mhm.
whatnot. But you guys are always accessible. I think that, and the community. I mean, the community has been a big source of inspiration. I mean, seeing people post their wins, seeing people post their non-scale wins to me is, I love those, because again, I think that's part of that gap first gain mindset. And we really need to take the time to appreciate those things and those things that are meaningful to us. And I think it helps us recognize those in ourselves when we don't always take the time to do it. Um, so yeah, I think the community, the support, those have been, you know, and just the plan.
I think people don't realize, like, if you're winging it, that's the kind of results kind of you're gonna get. What would you say to somebody who's been following us for a while, maybe a couple months, maybe a couple weeks, maybe even a couple years, and they're just thinking about doing it, but they just haven't pulled the trigger yet? What would you say?
I mean, I would say if you are serious and you want to make a change, like do it. I don't have any doubts that this can't work for someone. I mean, it takes personal accountability. You have to show up. You know, I mean, you guys can't do it for us, but you're going to make it as easy as possible for us to be able to do it. You're going to be there to, you know, pick us up if we, you know, fall off. You know, you're going to help us succeed. I mean, that's the goal. But anybody can do it. I mean, I was told it would be, you know, twice as hard as before. And, you know, what, in the 12 weeks, I mean, I was committed. I lost 27 pounds. I mean, that's freaking insane. And I've been able, I've lost another 20 or so, and I've been able to sustain that. And, you know, I'm in what's called, you guys call the reverse burn. So I'm increasing my calories back up a little bit. So now I have a little bit more playroom. So I'm still learning how to navigate with the extra calories because I want to, make sure I'm still using my fuel foods and not all fun foods, but I have a little more room in where I can use those. So there's still just lots of learning and growth. And I think, just go for it. It's funny, I see people, people ask me a lot, what am I doing? And I'm like, good old fitness and nutrition. Like
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing. And someone's like, oh yeah, I think I shared this with you the other day. A guy at work, he's been trying to lose weight. He's like, yeah, he's like, I've been, snacking on the nuts. And he's like in my office as I'm eating this like pretty big wrap and it's got chicken and salad, lettuce and everything. And I was like, okay, I was like, well, you're like half handful of nuts is like the same amount of calories as this big wrap that I have here. So, you could eat this for your snack instead. And he's like, no, but the nuts are the healthy for you. And I'm like, right, but they're a good source of like fats. He's like, no, protein. And I'm like, no, not really. But so just learning all of those things. And it makes such a difference in how you fuel your body and understand the fuel. So that didn't necessarily directly answer that question of why somebody should start, but because you
It
learn all of
does.
those things.
But I think it does because I get on so many calls with women, or I hear so many women just talking and chattering about how they're eating. And
Yeah,
I don't want to step in, but I want to be like, I can help you so badly in
yeah,
like 5 minutes. Um,
yeah. And they're
so
like, I
that
can't
is
eat the carbs, and I'm like, yeah, you can.
that's like 50% of what I eat. So
Yeah,
it's so
yeah.
helpful, to hear this. But most people, it's hard to know because there's so many things out there. So
Yeah. I
well,
think
thank you.
I want to can I one thing I did remember kind of back to your favorite part of it. Something resonated with me the other day that I saw of um I'm not chasing my skinniest self, I'm chasing my strongest self. And that like really I was like, yes, like that is it. And that is what this is about. And to me, strongest is defined as like physically, mentally, and emotionally. And I think you guys hit all of those components, um, which is so important. Because if you don't address all three of those areas, like I don't think it's not a full package. It's not addressing all of the things in life. And you guys really hit all of those to make us our strongest self.
And thank you for sharing that. We always say physically and mentally strong
Yeah.
because this is a mental game at the end of the day.
Yep.
Because what you learn, that's what stays with you, right? Because we're going to get sick, we're going to get injured, all those things are going to happen, but we still want to make progress. So thank you so much, Courtney. And if you like, now is such a good time. It's right before summer and it's always a good time. And if you feel like, Courtney, if you just feel like, you don't feel like yourself and you just want to feel like yourself and, summer's coming and you want to fuel your body, lose, like she said, a ton of weight, but also eating the foods you love, right? 3 home workouts a week, you sending us a message and communicating is not committing. It's just saying, I could be interested. I possibly want to learn more. So don't forget to comment and tell Courtney how amazing she is because every comment is $1 for Courtney. You guys, you're so worth it. We love you. We want to help. Just a conversation. I hope you have a wonderful day. Courtney, thank you so much for sharing your amazing, inspirational story and showing up for yourself. I'm honored. We are honored to coach you and to have you be a leader in our community. I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday and we will talk soon.
Thanks for having me.
Bye.